Hello. Okay, hey guys, I haven't uploaded in 2 weeks, 3 weeks? So I thought I'd upload air. So I thought I would upload today. It's the 14th of October and it's 3:11, 11 past 3 p.m. And I've just finished like a really long tutorial at school because we're prepping for this exam called the SJT. So dental students and I think medical students need to sit this exam to sort of be placed into a practice or a hospital for their foundation year. And the foundation year is the year where we graduate and we work and we earn money, but we are still supported by what we call ESs. They are called the educational supervisors, also known as trainers. So for me to be accepted into the place that I want to go to, I need to sit this exam called the SJT. It stands for the Situational Judgment Test. And the better I do, the higher that I get ranked amongst all the dental students graduating, next year. Uni's okay. I'm actually going into uni quite a lot, for those that don't know. Because I'm a dental student, I do need to do practical exercises and skills. And so we've been having quite a few simulation exercises because of the pandemic. We can't see as many patients in person. They need to be triaged. Do you have COVID? Are you high risk? So patients are less likely to come in unless they're in a lot of pain, which is why we've been having a few ADC sessions where we see patients who are in a lot of pain and they'd rather get a tooth extracted on that day because maybe they have a hole or decay in their tooth. And we have also been having simulation sessions, which I talked about, and we would use plastic teeth on phantom heads, and we've been doing lots of crown preps and a few amalgams. So the UK is still providing amalgams to patients under the NHS. And I think last Friday I had a crown competency test, which counted as a TMA, a tutor marked assessment, which are basically practical tests that we need to pass. And they tested us on crowns. They could have tested us on a bunch of stuff, but I think because we're going to graduate soon, they're trying to test us on the more difficult aspect of dentistry. And thankfully I passed. It was quite interesting. So it's double marked, right? So we need to do a preparation on tooth and it's double marked. So there are two tutors marking us. And we had to do the upper left 3 MCC crown and the lower right 6 full gold crown. And I thought I would start off with the upper left 3. And I thought it was quite good. And then the first tutor, this guy, he marked and he said, it's all good, but there's a big flaw. And so he failed me. But then he didn't seem very sure of himself. So he called the other tutor to get it double marked. And then she passed me. So overall, I got a pass. But I think they were being quite lenient. I think I might have the tooth with me, actually. I like to bring the teeth with me. I stopped doing this in year 2 and 3, but I thought because I'm graduating soon, I might as well keep some of the teeth. Just so that maybe it motivates me to try harder next time, or I could look at it, after many years and just realize how much I've improved or how bad I was. Upper left 3, so it might be this one, but it looks a lot worse today. No, it can't have been this bad. I think it's a different one. Yeah, I think it's a different one. Give me a second, guys. Here it is. So here it is. So basically in the morning of that competency test day, we were allowed to do 2 practice, and in the afternoon we were doing the actual teeth. So I've got 4 teeth there, 2 practice in the morning and 2 real ones in the afternoon. This is what does that say? 46. So that's what I did for the actual test. And then I think this one is what I did for practice. So I did for the practice. This looks a bit yellow because this is the temporary crown. I'm not going to try and explain how sort of crowns work right now, but basically this is the examination teeth I did. I don't know if it focuses or not. Hopefully it does. You probably can barely see it, but this crown can pop out like that, right? And this is the temporary crown, and then it seats back down. And we give temporary crowns to patients between visits, because once we do a preparation of the tooth by cutting down the tooth, we need to make an impression of it and send it off to the lab so that they can make the final crown. And that takes 1 to 2 weeks, or if you have a really good lab, they can bring the teeth back within a few days. But that's like a really good lab. So during those few days or weeks that the patient doesn't have a proper tooth in their mouth, we need to give them a temporary one just so that they can function, they can speak, they can chew food, they can eat. And we're also doing a lot of training on root canals, because root canal patients are hard to see. And I actually haven't done a single root canal treatment on a patient. I've done a few on fake teeth. I've got some here. Don't know if you can see. So they bought like more expensive teeth that are clear and you can see the roots, and we fill it. I don't know if you can see that properly. I also wanted to talk about Netflix. So, you know, I love watching YouTube, but I do like Netflix as well. I don't know if you guys know, I used to be really big on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and then I sort of grew out of it. So now I've been watching random series here and there. If you haven't heard before, I'm a huge fan of the series called The Spy. So it's on Netflix, and it stars Sacha Baron Cohen. And it's not a comedy. It's slightly dark, but it's also, you know, the main genre is suspense. I loved it. 6 episodes. They're about 40 to 50 minutes each. I binge watched the entire thing, and it's based on a very real life story about this spy from Israel called Eli Cohen, 1961 to 1965. So for those 5 years, he went to Syria and using Morse code gave information to the Israeli government so that they could fight against, you know, attacks from other Arab nations. And I'm not going to get into like the details of, you know, the conflict of Israel with other countries in that area of the Middle East. I don't know much either myself, but I do have an interest. But it was so fun, really enjoyed it, so I recommend it to you guys. And also yesterday, Grace recommended me this documentary called 3 Identical Strangers. So I actually saw the entire thing. It's again really fun. And the main gist of the story is there were triplets born to a Jewish lady. And then this guy called Peter Neubauer was a psychologist, and he wanted to, you know, conduct some experiments. Again, this is a true story. And so he split the 3 triplets up when they were 6 months old. They just didn't know that they had siblings. They didn't know they had brothers. And then when they were 19, they somehow met each other in uni and stuff, and they got back together. It was on the news, and they were going to shows and stuff. But they all had slight mental health issues, and so the documentary explores that. That was really fun. Really not fun. It was actually darker than the show called The Spy, but I really enjoyed it, and it's quite relevant to Grace because she studies psychology. And I also wanted this video. I've already been talking for 10 minutes. Oh my god. So I finally wanted to end with sort of my life. So I don't know. I don't know if you can see the guitar there. I'm not feeling like playing the guitar much. I don't know why. I used to love the guitar and singing. I don't sing as much. I sing once a week when we do like service with my parents. But yeah, I'm not playing the guitar much. I'm still playing Minecraft, but I'm not recording as much. I'm just playing for fun now. I'll try and record a bit more. But the thing that I've been doing sort of regularly for the last few years is sort of reading and sort of studying the Bible. And it might seem really sad to some people, but, you know, it's a book that billions of people do read. And I've just been getting more and more into it, really into it. So yesterday I started this sort of Bible study group with Grace, and we're in a group of 10 roughly, and we do it online, and it's run by Euston Church, which is a fairly big church. I've never actually been to the church, but I just wanted to join another Bible study group, so I thought I'd join that one because Grace recommended it to me. And this year our group is studying the book of Exodus. So Exodus, you guys must have heard of it. It's, the story of the the Israelites actually escaping out of Egypt. And it's sort of the story between God and Pharaoh. And Pharaoh was actually a god for the Egyptians, so they worshipped Pharaoh. And it's a story about how God, I guess, overpowered Pharaoh and allowed his people, the Israelites, to leave and start to make their way to the promised land that we know of as Canaan, current day Gaza, Israel, Palestine area. I think the interesting fact is in Egyptian, the word for Canaan was Gaza. So, current day Gaza still exists. It's run by the Hamas group in Palestine. And, so yesterday was the first study session. We studied chapter 1 and 2. Really interesting, It talks about the birth of Moses, how the Pharaoh wanted all the Israelite male babies to be killed because he feared that they were growing very large in number compared to the Egyptians. And it also talks about different covenants, so promises that God made to the Israelites. So more specifically to Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, and how he would, bring them out of so he knew that they would serve as slaves in a different nation as sojourners, and he would wait roughly 400 years, and then he heard the cries of the Israelites because they were enslaved and they were finding it difficult in Egypt, and that's when I think he decided to raise up Moses to be a leader of some sorts to bring the Israelites out of Exodus. So stuff like this really interests me because I believe it's based on real life events. It's hard to prove. Well, some people argue it's actually easy to prove. But yeah, stuff like this interests me. You've got history mixed with religion, and it still ties in with current day aspects of life. So yeah, I think I'll just end the video there. I'm just glad I'm uploading something today. So it's 3:25, so I need to start editing this, and hopefully I can upload it by 6 p.m. Otherwise, hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.